Hello, and welcome to Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses, the podcast where you will discover all the latest and greatest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. If you are not getting the results you are looking for from your digital marketing efforts, this is the podcast for you. And now, here's the host of our show, the local business guy himself, Frank Deming.
Hello, everyone. This is Frank Deming, the local business guy, and welcome to another episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day, everyone. I hope you guys are having a rockin' week thus far. This is the episode right before the big day. The big day I'm referring to, of course, is Christmas. If you're a Christian and if you follow that type of the holiday of this holiday season, if that's what you celebrate, this week is the big day. The end of this week is the big day. Hope you guys are preparing for the big day and getting ready to, spend time with family. And just count your blessings, man. I mean, we've had a rough 2 years, almost 2 years, with this COVID situation. It doesn't seem to be getting any better. We got all this Omicron and Delta variants and all these other type of variants, and people are still getting sick and people are still ending up in the hospital. So I just want to, before I get with the content, spend the time and say, be grateful and thankful for what we have, and always remember that life is short. You never know who's going to be affected by this thing. I've had some friends of mine who was affected by it, some very severe, and some not so severe, but some actually ended up unfortunately passing away. So anyway, I don't want to bring doom and gloom to this episode, because that's not what this is all about. This episode is not about that. I'm just saying, Christmas time is a very important time of the year, and spend time with your family. If you celebrate Christmas, that is. If you're in Hanukkah, you probably already passed the Hanukkah days. Well, not probably, you have already. That's already passed. But I hope you did have some time with your family. And if you celebrate anything else, just use this time to reflect and be thinking about the past 2 years and what has meant to you, what has meant to your business, and how you can move forward from it. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So anywho, let's go with today's content. I want to get right to it. So I want to talk to you guys about something important, because I want to lead into, like I said, this last month, I want to talk about leading into next year. And I want to give you some methods on how you want to build your email list. A lot of local businesses, small businesses, don't think about this a lot. You guys, the reason I know this is because I work with a lot of local businesses, and I work with a lot of small businesses throughout the globe. So, throughout the continental U.S., not throughout the globe. I used to have some Australian clients, which no longer have. So it's still, my main focus is here in the good old US of A. Anywho, so I want to talk to you about some methods that you can use to build your email list. Very important to do so, because you want to have some marketing channels outside of what you're doing now that maybe you can email, because email marketing is not dead, much to the surprise of many people out there. They think, oh yeah, email marketing is dead. You don't want to, focus your attention on that too much. No, email marketing is not dead. It's, is text messaging seem to be more effective? It depends on the niche. Some people if they subscribe to a list, it's because they're interested in something. So I want to talk to you guys about building that list, because once What's happening now with email marketing, and I've noticed this over the years, when it first started out, it was a very powerful way to get like residual income. I mean, it was very, very powerful, real simple. Then it started to die out a little bit because of all of the overindulging. People kept sending too many emails and people was unsubscribing. So it reached a lull. Then it started reinventing itself and having a comeback where if you provide value in your email, if you're not just selling information and selling your services all the time, you can keep people on your list, because your list is truly one of the best assets you can have as a business today. Depends on how you got them to your list. It costs you very little, and it costs you nothing to send an email. So if you're running a promotion, I have a client of mine who's a massage therapist. And every now and then she runs promotions to her list, and it's not one of those chains. She has a local massage parlor, if you will, and she's got it's not a huge list, but she's got a pretty good sized list. But every like 2-3 months she runs specials. Like she'll run a Valentine's Day special. She'll run like a pre-Thanksgiving Day special, relax before your family drives you crazy special, all that kind of stuff. And different other things. I don't want to blow up her whole strategy here on the air, but it's something that we work together with her and give us some ideas, and she and we implement it for her. But these are things that she can only do because she created a list. So, and it works for anything. Even if you're an attorney, it doesn't matter. Dentist, whatever you do, you can create a list for yourself and have, a multitude of people at your fingertips to promote something to, or just to share information. The point of this is to tell you that you don't always have to promote a sale. Give them some information. Maybe there was a new, like if you're an attorney, there's a new law that came out in your county, and you could send out information about that new law. Or if you're a dentist, maybe you just want to talk about some new findings from the CDC about tooth decay, and it's just information without saying come in so we can check it out. Nothing, just information. And then every now and then you run a promotion. That's the way to run email marketing. But first of all, let's talk about getting people to your list in the first place, because we're all talking about methods of what to do while they're on your list. But let's talk about getting them to your list. So that's what I want to talk about today. So the number one thing that I've seen that I've also implemented for myself and for my clients is we want to develop compelling content, period. One of the most important things to do is to make sure that your subscribers will be interested in the content that you send them, period. Okay? Just the act of providing them with quality and some relevant information, like I just said. Like I gave you some tips for an attorney. I gave you some tips for dentists, et cetera, et cetera. So just the act of giving them quality and relevant information, it should encourage them to sign up. So let's say you run a social media post every now and then, and you're asking people to share your post, for an example. And in that post, it has a subscription thing for the newsletter that should give them. So that's the reason that people sign up for emails from news platforms. They want the content. You just got to figure out a way. What is it that interesting content that your audience is looking for? And that's the key thing. And we have a couple of strategies on how to do that I would love to share with you guys at some point. But if you ever want a free consultation from us, we can share that with you, and we can share exactly how you can get compelling content ideas so that someone will subscribe to your list. And then once you have them on your list, they're interested in your services. So that's the key thing. At least you have a following, and that's what's important. So that's number one. Develop compelling content, period. Make sure it's compelling. Number two, you want to run a contest. See, if you create contests that requires submitting an email, it's very simple. But I tell you, it's very, very effective, and you'll be getting you'll be getting a lot of email addresses through that, because a lot of people love contests. Feed into the competitive nature of certain people. So that's a different brand of folks. There's some people who are informational hogs. They just need information. So tactic number one is gonna probably attract them, and then tactic number two, when I'm talking about running contests, is that competitive person. They want, oh, it's a contest. That sounds interesting. Who can I win? What can I win? And for them to enter, you get the email address. So, but make sure that the contest is very, 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 very relevant to your services. So that's the key. Number three is you want to try other types of lead magnets. So a contest is a lead magnet. Okay. So the thing is, you want to try different types of lead magnets as well, because the more different lead magnets that you can try, the better, the more the more subscribers you're gonna get. Okay, so contest is great because it's feeding into that competitiveness. But try thinking about like ebooks. Okay, for instance, if you wrote an ebook about anything that's and anything that's relevant to your subject matter, that's helpful. If you have a store that sells anything, you want to try something like product samples, or along the same lines. If you want, if you're selling something tangible as well, you want to try something like coupons, some free trials. Right. Another really cool, lead magnet or freebie, if you will, is you want to also, if you're running a podcast, so if you're an informational person and you're running a private podcast, and you have something that's really compelling in that podcast that your audience is interested in, but it's private, it's exclusive. You want to give them access to that podcast, and that's the only way to get access to the podcast is by giving the email, right? That's a really powerful way of doing it. I've got a surgeon client who's got that, and we brainstorm a lot with him. We do brainstorm a lot with him, and we came up with this, and it was unique, and it's really doing well. He's growing his list very, very, very quickly here. Another thing that you want to give access to is probably a webinar that you did. Maybe you did a really, really cool webinar on XYZ topic, and you want to share it to this list. Maybe it wasn't a public webinar. Maybe it was a webinar that was only exclusive to certain people. People like exclusivity. So depending on the niche that you're in, you have to select the right freebie and or lead magnet that works for you. Something that really works well is templates. Like here are some templates for you to use in order to get XYZ, right? Or you want to give subscribers early access to like some features or some products that you're doing, and it's going to be, let's say it's going to be released in April, and you're going to give them early access in February or something like that to a product or a release that you're doing. The possibilities are endless. And this is why I always tell people, hey, if you ever want an idea that's going to work for you, everybody's business is unique. But if you're ever looking for an idea that may work for you, reach out to us. You know how to get us, 888-416-7752, or send us an email at info@lbmsllc.com, because this is something that's more personal, but I'm just throwing out some ideas for you to at least get started. Okay. Number 4 is you want to create landing pages. I want to spend some time on this a little bit, because a lot of my clients have always frowned upon the whole landing page scenario that I talked to them about, until they finally got it and they see the conversions just like skyrocket because they have a landing page. If you're going to spend money on ads, okay, you want to send those people to a landing page where the only thing they can do is either A, pick up the phone and call you, or B, fill out a form and enter the information, and then you will call them. Okay. So if you really just want to promote a lead magnet, if you will, or a freebie, then don't put a number. Just throw out what your lead magnet is specifically for that topic or that product that you want them to get, whether it's like I said, access to the webinar, access to a podcast, a cheat sheet. Cheat sheets work very well for attorneys. Hey, here are 10 things you need to know about blah, blah, blah if you're getting a divorce in the next 90 days. Things like that. If you're a family law attorney, of course. That works well. So cheat sheets. Anything like that, you want to promote it on a landing page. A lot of times people don't do that, and what happens is they send traffic to a website, and then a website has a pop-up, and people think that pop-up is going to get them. It doesn't work as well. You will see a high rate of conversion when you just have a landing page. So, enough said on that. I've beaten that horse oftentimes, and it's one of my pet peeves with some of my clients who do not believe in landing pages for whatever reason. They think it takes them away from their brand, but it really doesn't. Anywho, let me move on. And I mentioned it before, but here, it does work on certain things. Notice I'm talking about landing pages in terms of creating a call to action for a quick download. If you're not into that, if you're saying, Frank, I really don't want to create a landing page, I don't want to do that. I want everything on my website. That's where I want. I don't want the confusion. Okay. Then, as I mentioned before, you can do pop-ups on your website. Does not convert as well as the landing pages, but it does have a conversion. So if you're not looking to really blow up your list, if you will, then go to pop-up route. There's always more than one way to skin a cat, guys. And I'm not here to browbeat you down into buying into my landing page model, but it is better. But if you really, really, really don't want it, if you're totally against it, just use a pop-up. I particularly rather an exit pop. I don't like the pop-ups that come up after the first, say, 60 seconds of you being on the website. Don't like that. and this is just me, I prefer the pop-up that, oh, you're exiting. Hey, before you leave, blah, 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 don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter, or don't forget to download my new cheat sheet, whatever that is. Okay? Because they went to your website for a reason. Might as well leave the website with something. Okay, so you want to advertise, number 6, you want to advertise also your lead magnets on social media. I like paid advertising, TikTok ads, Facebook ads, and Instagram ads, whatever, LinkedIn ads. You want to advertise this to your target audience on social media, period. And you want to do paid ads. Now, if you want to do it the organic way, you're going to, a good strategy of doing it the organic way is you want to create what's called a pod. What a pod is you have, say, 5 or 6 people that promote each other's posts. So you have a post and you have 5 or 6 people promoting your post. And then the next day, the next person has a post. 5 or 6 people promote their post, and it just goes on and on and on and on. You could do that for like 90 days. You should get a decent lead, influx of leads coming in that way. And you're not really paying for it. You're just going to have to find people who are willing to share posts with you or for you. And the person has to have a huge following and your leads and what your ideal customers are, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot to go with that strategy with the pods, but it's a good way of doing it without spending ads, because a lot of people don't like to spend money on ads. I'm a huge advocate of spending money on ads because I think it's the best way. Anyway, I digress. Let's move on. So number 7 is you want to add social sharing buttons. This is very important. So every post that you make, you want to have some kind of social sharing buttons that when people read it and they like it, you want to encourage people to share it right on there. It actually boosts your rankings, which is pretty cool. So you're going to get some organic traffic to those posts anyway, when you have social sharing buttons. And I read something an article that I really thought was pretty intriguing. I'm going to put the article on the show notes here. I read that social sharing buttons, it can actually boost your click-through rates up to 158%. That's pretty awesome. Pretty reputable site where I read that. So I'm going to share it so you guys can read it yourself. So just want to share that with you. 8, you want to encourage referrals. Okay. So the option of referrals works like this. You could set up, say, a referral program with, say, discounts for your current customers. If you want to go that route, I would. And both the person referring and the person being referred get some sort of discount. That's a really, really cool way of increasing your subscribers. You want to attend local events. This is old school, but man, this is really cool. And in that local event, you want people to get your freebies, to subscribe. So that, you want to encourage that. So what you want to do is maybe you want to have your own little, magnet or whatever, or some kind of promotional product of you. And in that promotional product, make sure that you have, hey, if you want more information like this, make sure you go to my website. Maybe have a QR code or whatever that goes straight to the website. Make it easy for them to find it. The freebie or the lead magnet. Okay. People will, if you attend enough local events, you will start seeing your email list increase. Definitely. I can guarantee that. Now, the last one is a controversial one, and this is something that I believe in. A lot of other internet marketers are against this, but you're my audience, and I want to share with you something that I believe in when it comes to email marketing and growing your list. You want to limit what you ask for. See, people are already hesitant about sharing information online. So you basically, in my opinion, you don't want to ask them to do too much, right? So you want to stick to their name and email address, and of course their permission. You want to do it like that. The best way of doing it is a double opt-in. Okay, so that's giving them their permission. So, but in addition to that, to showing that you want to show that their respect and their privacy. Okay, because a lot of these people, when you're getting into your list, they don't know you. So you want to feel comfortable. So you want to limit what you ask for, guys. Name and emails is enough. Now, it depends on the lead magnet, of course. If your lead magnet, needs their physical address for whatever reason, maybe you're going to mail them something. Of course, you can't limit it to just name and email address. But there are ways of getting around that as well. That you could just say name and email address, get them on your list, and then you can send them something later if they give you your address. And it ties to that lead magnet. But again, those are ideas that I'd love to share with you, but if we have a private consultation. So there you go. Those are 10 ways that you can increase your mailing list, your email list, I should say, and, start rocking it in 2022. I mean, it's right around the corner, guys. So get cracking. What are you waiting for? It's there for the taking, and none of this stuff is hard. And of course, if you need help, give us a call. We'll help you out. We'll do the best, the most we can to really expand your horizons and all that good stuff. So with that, before I leave you, if you do celebrate Christmas, I want to wish you guys a Merry, 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 Merry Christmas. And if you don't, just enjoy the day off and spend time with your family, period. With that, folks, I'm going to end this episode. I will see you guys next week. Take care, folks, and bye for now. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses, the podcast where you will discover all the latest and greatest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. Don't forget, any links that were mentioned during the broadcast will be available to you in the show notes, so be sure to grab them while you have the chance. Incidentally, if you have any topics that you would like for us to discuss on the show, be sure to send an email to the email provided in the show notes, or click the Contact Us link and let us know what topic you would like us to help you with, and we'll be sure to add it to our schedule. If you would like for Frank and his team to look at your digital marketing presence and give you a free evaluation, simply click the Request a Free Consultation link in the show notes to get a hold of them. That being said, until our next episode, make it a successful digital marketing day. Peace out.